Guess who's back? Back again. Joe Rogan's back with all of his chud-ass friends. So, nobody's surprised at this, folks. I guess Tim Pool has an RV that he's traveling around in. He has it set up to be a mobile studio because he's rich as fuck. He's a millionaire. He got plenty of money. When you're actually a decent human being, you don't get rewarded very much. But when you're a lying sack of shit on the right, millionaire. And so anybody who tries to tell me Joe Rogan's a leftist, shut the fuck up, goddammit. The same people that told me Sargon was a leftist, the same people that told me Dave Rubin was a leftist, the same people that told me that Jimmy Doorknob is a fucking leftist. It's obvious what they're fucking doing. So shameless conservative grifters all together. So Joe Rogan in this RV, in this studio with Tim Pool, Blair White, the trans token, whose entire job is to be the good trans woman who does nothing but lie and shit on other trans women, right? And Alex Jones, one of the most vile con men to ever live. They're doing what they always do. This is what I was talking about before, folks. The culture wars. They're winning the culture wars. So I've been calling this out for years. This is the same playbook as the anti-SJW community did. So what they do is they go out and they find the minutia the left is doing. Not a whole lot of people, just the extremists. A lot of times they're just making it up or lying about it. But sometimes they find some real stuff that the extremes, the minutia the left is doing. And then they do nothing but cherry pick, nut pick is what they call it. And they continuously bombard us with this nut picking and claim this represents the entire left and this is the greatest threat to our society in order to distract us from the wealth inequality that's going on in this country, from the fascist takeover of our goddamn country, from the theocracy that's trying to take over our country. They don't give a shit about that. And people like Joe Rogan are benefited by this because he is 100 millionaire or more and scared to death he might have to pay $5 in taxes. So by putting out all this right-wing propaganda, he makes it much less likely that people who are going to tax him, progressives, actually get into positions of power. And so it's no surprise that he's hanging out with Tim Pool. It's no surprise he's hanging out with Blair White. It's no surprise he's hanging out with Alex Jones. And so what he's doing here is exactly the same thing they always do. So he's going to be on Tim Pool's program and declaring the left is a monolith and the left has become a cult. Joe Rogan literally is a cult-like personality of the largest podcast in the world on another cult-like personality, Tim Pool's show, who is interviewing another cult-like personality, Alex Jones. All three are basically cult leaders, but gonna pretend like it's the left who is this monolith cult over the Kyle Rittenhouse bullshit. And of course, all the usual suspects come out to suck Joe Rogan's dick, like Dinesh D'Souza, Donald Trump Jr., which we're going to show you in a minute. All the right-wing shitheads come out to pour praise upon Joe Rogan. These are the people that you're attracting, Joe, because this is what you become. This is what you are. So let me play it. This is a clip from the Post Millennial, which is Andy Nogo's Rag, another right-wing website that pushes out right-wing propaganda and talking points. Here they are praising Joe Rogan. And so let me play this clip for you, and then we'll break it down as we go.
Just telling lies, but they're attempting to control the narrative, which is an attempt to control your mind. And that's what's dangerous. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, that should seriously concern you, because this is what they do to control the minds of millions of people. And it's allowed on a daily basis. And it's like, why don't...
Imagine saying what this guy is saying right now in a room with Alex Jones. Unironically, everything he's describing is 100% literally what Alex Jones does day to day, with no self-awareness whatsoever. Let me play it again. It's like he's talking about Alex Jones, yet he's talking to Alex Jones about other people.
Telling lies, but they're attempting to control the narrative, which is an attempt to control your mind. And that's what's dangerous. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, that should seriously concern you, because this is what they do to control the minds of millions of people. And it's allowed on a daily basis. And it's like, it's encouraging. Why don't people take issue with this, that people are trying to control your mind?
Yeah, why don't people take issue with amazing liars who spread bullshit? Let's ask my guest Alex Jones how he feels about this. Seriously, fuck everything about this. Like, I would say, how stupid do they think we are? But as we're going to show you, they made tons of money off this. They got millions of views off this. They know how dumb their audience is, unfortunately.
It's so sad because I don't know any progressive. I know a lot of progressives, and not one of them knows that one of the victims of Kyle was a pedophile. They all think it was an...
Okay, first off, I covered this story. We covered that the first guy that Kyle shut was a pedophile. I'm a progressive. Every progressive I know who has watched this show knows the story because we covered it. So now I know Blair White doesn't give a shit if he's telling the truth, number one. And number two, she does not hang out or talk to progressives. So this is what they do. They just make up a lie and they throw progressives on the bus and group us all together as monolith in order to spread their bullshit narrative, says toking traitor Blair White, one of the most disgusting people on the planet.
Innocent black BLM protester
who raped the kid. It's not like he had attractions.
Five kids, and he was an underage boy during this, battle with him. So it messes with people so badly. I know so many people that have no information about the case but have an opinion completely made up. It's
Wasn't
sad.
the other guy, didn't he get all his charges dismissed on previous
6
cases?
days before.
6 days
he
before
just
he had a.
This is what you do. You shit on the victims here. Now, I said it before, like, the first guy that Cal shot was like this mentally ill pedophile dude. And I actually think, I don't want to say he was justified in shooting the guy because Cal fantasized about murdering people. I'm going to show you the video in a minute. Clearly premeditated. He went out there to try to instigate a situation where he could murder people, which makes him a psychopath. But it's kind of a gray area in the law. It's like how some psychopaths join the military because they really want to murder somebody, and then they know the military would allow them to go overseas and murder people and get away with it legally. That's what Kyle Rittenhouse did. He set up a scenario where he could go legally murder people and get away with it, and he did. He did exactly that. But let's continue.
A DUI charge dropped, but he was a career criminal. I mean, he went down for domestic abuse, prowling, trespassing, 2 DUIs, felony burglary, 2 counts of carrying a firearm while intoxicated.
Bro, this is cult shit.
Yeah, yep.
We're in a cult. Yes. This is a
Yes,
cult.
dude.
Tell us, Joe. We're in a cult.
We're in a cult, Joe Rogan says, sitting in the fucking room with Alex Jones. Like, Joe Rogan never calls out the cult of Trump. Literally, there is a MAGA cult in this country. I covered every fucking show. There's no denying it. Joe Rogan still, on election night, was giddily cheering for Donald Trump. He was giddily cheering for the fascist cult takeover of this country. Yet he going to lump all of the left together and pretend like we're a cult with no fucking hint of irony whatsoever.
Tell us, Joe. Speak to us, leader.
How does the Kool-Aid taste?
Shut up,
Dr. Joe.
How's the Kool-Aid?
We are in a cult. Joe, start up. This information is not based on reality. This is a left-wing cult. And they're pumping stuff out, and then they're confirming this belief. They're all getting together and they're ignoring contrary evidence.
Yes.
They're ignoring any narrative that challenges their.
Imagine sitting in the room with Alex Jones and saying this, folks. How can you be any more of a fucking hypocrite than this? I would say it's hard to believe, but it's not. But it's so far beyond the pale to be sitting in the room with the most prevalent propagandist in America, one of the biggest liars in the history of fucking America, and saying this shit about the left. Fucking incredibly shameless.
Belief about what happened, and they're not looking at it realistically. They're only looking at it like you would look at it if you're in a fucking cult.
He's talking about Alex Jones. He's literally fucking talking about Alex Jones right now. Just craziness. So anyway, as I said, the usual suspects are out to suck his dick. Here's Donald Trump Jr. Yeah, hey, it's exactly what you want, Joe, isn't it? People like Donald Trump Jr. having your back, using you as a tool to spread right-wing narratives. Of course it is. Because like I said, he was cheering for Trump. I've showed you guys the video. But here's what it's all about, folks. Here's 100% what the whole thing is about. Shameless grifting con men who are only doing this for fucking money. And they're getting it in fucking droves.
So, Joe Rogan in the house. Alex Jones, ladies and gentlemen, right about basically everything. Finally, it's all coming down. The truth is coming out.
So Thomas Jefferson was in the Illuminati.
Bunch of demons. Joe Rogan is the 46th president of the United States. I smell sulfur.
Oh my God.
People are just giving us money.
People are just giving us money. I mean, yeah, we're already fucking stinking filthy goddamn rich. We already have more money than we could ever spend in multiple lifetimes, and yet they still are giving us tons of fucking money. Isn't this great? Yeah, it's fucking great. And here they are. They're right. Look. Here they are. Look at all this. Look at all the money they're making.
Like, Jack, do something. And he's like...
People are watching these millionaires and like, yeah, I want to spend my hard-earned dollars to give these millionaires even more fucking money. This is what our world rewards constantly. When you do the right thing, you can barely scrape fucking by. But if you're willing to lie, if you're willing to spread right-wing talking points that hurt your fellow American citizens, yeah, you can bathe in money.